Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCS Challengers League Promotion Tournament. My name is Devastating Deserux, the most devastating man on the internet. I am joined with Ravishing Ravish, the most ravishing man on the internet, and Beatdown Boulevard, the most beatdown man on the internet. Ravish, how'd I do?
All right. We're just biting his whole flow. It's kind of messed up, you know?
Bro, I'm so used to this, man. Being on a desk with Eric for like a year.
Yes,
this was his whole shtick. Was being like, how can I make you as miserable as possible? But you know what? I'll take it. Hey, man, very happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me on back again. Beatdown, I hope you're having a good day as being the most beatdown man of the year.
I mean, apparently that's just who I am, and I got to figure out what that means and how to own it. So, you know, you guys start us off. I'm going to be, like, thinking about that.
And this is a return of an old desk for us. For those of you who don't know, Ravish, it's this way, right? Yeah, I got to make sure I get my directions right.
It's always the opposite.
This is the type of intro he tends to do. Back in the day in the amateur scene, UPL, we used to have moments like this all the time, man. It brings back good memories to be back with you guys.
Yeah, good memories.
Yeah. Eric, it's been
time.
so long since I've worked with you, Eric. Yeah, like, I'm really excited about it.
No, as a unit, man, as a unit. We're always broken apart. Yeah, all right. Let's get on with the show and get things rolling, shall we? Because we got something that's going on right now, and it's called the LCS Game Changers. This is something that is for marginalized genders within our community. It's going to be happening every September, every Saturday of the month of September at 1 p.m. Pacific. Be sure to tune in for some great League of Legends. They're also going to have a live event over at the Riot Games Arena at the end of the month, so that's going to be awesome. A lot of our community members are part of it. Avril, sub for Supernova, Summer. You've probably seen her casting over at the promotion tournament, is going to be a coach for this. And of course, one you two are very, very familiar with, part of your squad, perchance Lena will also be a manager for one of the squads.
That is true. Big fan of Perchance. Perchance Diff, as always, will reign supreme on any team that she is on. So I'm no bias at all. But yeah, on he says LCS, which is crazy. I mean, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too that they've moved to putting like public matches, live streams, and things like that, and it's going to be on the LCS channel. I think because the purpose of this is to give them a chance, an environment to kind of get pretty much as close to like live LCS kind of competitive play as possible, and I think live matches are a perfect way to move towards that.
Yeah, and that's starting up right now, so if you want to watch that, it's also something you can watch. You can have 2 Twitch channels up at the same time, you know, throw us both up. And, well, you're joining us for the NACL, so let's go over the format. In fact, we have Sierra Dawn, who's put together a little format video to freshen you up.
Welcome to the LCS Challengers League Summer Promotion Tournament. I'm Sierra Dawn, and I'll be leading you through the stakes, the format, and some of the changes we made coming into summer. In spring, we saw 8 teams contest 4 promotions into the NACL. For summer, we have a total of 6 teams, all vying for 2 spots. The 2 lowest placing NACL teams from the summer regular season, and the 4 best teams from the NACL Open qualifiers. These 6 teams are placed into a double elimination bracket, with the qualifier teams playing a best of 3 against each other to start. The qualifier teams were ranked by total points earned across both Open qualifiers. There will be 4 rounds of gameplay, with the first 2 rounds being best of 3s, after which the remaining rounds will be best of 5. The teams coming from NACL will have a chance to only need 2 wins to make it back, while the teams coming from qualifiers need to win 3 matches to make the jump to LCS Challengers Spring 2024. Those eliminated have the opportunity to challenge for their spot in NACL by taking part in the next split's Open qualifiers.
The format you've seen, we've been quite a ways into this tournament so far. A lot of chaos has unfolded, and we've even promoted a team. In fact, let's pull up the bracket so we can start breaking down what's been going on throughout this tournament. Beat, starting with you.
I mean, what a tournament it's been. Again, you guys talked about it yesterday. It's been talked about these last couple of days. What a run Lit had to be the first team to qualify. Didn't actually drop a single game until Supernova took them to 5 games. And I mean, Mirage, the team we had a lot of expectations for before the tournament started, well, they're here today. And all that being said, we already have a new team, and it is a new one, which is really exciting. So there's still going to be that chance to see whether or not we get a returning member, or maybe we get 2 brand new teams going into spring next year.
I
Now,
just want
Ravish,
to
that's
say,
pretty lit, but what else for you?
I predicted this. I thought Lit would go in. I remember at the meeting, the very beginning, I was like, guys, what if Lit makes it?
It didn't
And I
happen
got
on
laughed.
broadcast. It didn't
And I
happen
got
on
If
broadcast.
it didn't happen on
Off the street.
It's not
broadcast,
real.
it didn't happen.
I got laughed off the
Also,
call.
I was in that call. I don't recall that happening. So,
I remember
skill
saying
issue.
it. I said it. I'm sure I said it. My memory has never failed me before, Nate.
I don't know. My memory
Yeah,
has
sure.
Cubby laughing at you at some point in this. No.
I mean,
That was also
Yeah. It's got to feel great for Lit. They had a 5-game slugger going the complete distance to get here. And this is a best-of-5 territory. So we got another one coming up right now, and that is our match of the day. It is going to be Team Ambition versus Mirage in the lower bracket. It's going to be quite a war beat.
it is, and it's going to be an exciting one because, again, you have Mirage and Team Ambition, two teams who have faced each other quite a few times in the summer split so far, trading blows going back-to-back. Mirage winning the most recent matchup under interesting circumstances, which we'll get to later. But this matchup is really important because, of course, the reminder, we're in that lower bracket, and it's Mirage Alliance, who we didn't expect to be here, but either way, either of these teams are on their last life. And even if you win today, you still have to win one more best-of-5. It's Supernova who are waiting for them to be able to fight for the last spot for next year.
Ravish, now's your chance. The big brain. You said you did it with Lit. You're on
gotta
broadcast
do it
right now.
again.
Call it, man.
Who's
Call
gonna
it.
win?
We're so early for predictions. This is so.
Wait, you can't say that.
And only-
you said
only you
Lit
are doing the
before-
prediction, man.
You said you predicted Lit before the tournament started.
did.
We're asking you to do this before the match.
Fine.
How is that
Okay.
early?
Okay, fine. You know what? I don't care. I'll do it. It's gonna be Mirage. It's gonna be Mirage. easily.
Oh, wow.
I
Who would've
think it'll be a
guessed?
close game, but it's gonna be them. All right, you happy now? I'm done.
Yes.
All right, and speaking of Mirage, let's go ahead and pull up their roster. I mean, this is a team we had incredibly high expectations for coming into this promotion tournament because of a 28-4 record on that regular
Yeah.
season. But here they are in the lower bracket beat.
Right, and that first loss to Lit, going 0-2, was such a big surprise to all of us. I even asked Alorum about his thoughts on how he felt, what the reason was, and he credited Lit. And like no excuses, things like that. It was that he said Lit had a really good read on the meta. Their drafts turned out really well. And he honestly gave a lot of props to Dragoon for playing, for having just as wide a champ pool and being able to overcome him, being a big part of why they were able to win things out there in that first match.
Yeah, exactly that.
And-
Because with Lorem too, he said how with him being able to just like have a direct response to anything that he ever wants to do, which is the sickest
Yeah.
part about.
And Beat, I want to keep this one on you because you have some opinions when it comes to Mirage and a lot of their players and just how well they've been doing, especially one specific one there in the bottom lane. Let's go to some of the clips of Mirage Alliance and how they've been doing thus far throughout this tournament. And what really stands out to you, Beat?
Chad said this is a team of very strong individuals, and the strongest individual in my eyes is Neo, of course. This team we see so often are so good at finding these early game leads. And again, as Chad said, they win out in lane and they snowball that really, really well. And Neo is a player who I think is kind of at the center of all that. He's been so consistently good throughout this summer split. And even in the matches that they have lost here, he did still look really good, and he's someone to be watching out for. I mean, he's a player who did play in LCS previously when he jumped over to TSM Challengers and did the swap with Wild Turtle. TSM Challengers did look noticeably better. Just the fact that he's able to bring this to whatever team he is on is just another credit to him.
Now, what about you, Ravish? We got a lot of hype for Neo, but, there's other positions as well. You got Chad and Alorum up there. Who stands out to you?
No, personally for me, I'm a big fan of any top laner who brings out interesting picks, and we just saw that at the last couple of seconds.
This is the tournament for you.
Exactly. We did see Alorum bring out that Maokai top, getting that overall bait and switch going on, and it made me, one, reminisce about the old Maokai, and two, just showing how flexible of a laner Alorum can be, as you mentioned before, right? It's like he has such a deep champ pool, and he knows how to neutralize so many different lanes.
Well, one of the problems we have about at least being in the tier 3 and tier 2 space is a lot of these players, they're friends, man.
Yeah.
They end up on different teams together. Sometimes you got to fight your friends, and Sudsy has a little bit of words when it comes to doing that.
I watched the games today. Kachu looked pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day, it's me versus Snow in my own head of if I beat this guy, I am ruining his chances at his own life as a professional career. And that hurts me more than anything else. I'm telling you, I have this way. Robbie Bob too. They told me how to play against Robbie Bob, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to kick this guy anywhere. I want him to succeed. Why am I pitted against my own friends? Like, it's a cruel world. But I'd rather beat them than get beat myself. So sorry, Nick. It's go time when it's go time. You know?
It's a cruel world we live in, Beat.
I mean, it's just that simple. I really respect the confidence from Sudsy there. One of these players who, I mean, we've seen in this space for years. And the fact that he says, man, I really love these guys. Oh my God, like, they're so cool. We've been friends for so long. Don't put me against them. Really speaks to that confidence where it's like, hey, man, if they put me in front of you, I'm going to be sad about it. I'm going to beat you.
Let's talk about who these guys are, because their opponents on the Rift, it's gonna be Team Ambition. Now, this is a team that had a rebuild during summer. A lot of that around Kachu, but as we see them gain momentum, now they've entered the promotion tournament. Some of the best results we've seen from Team Ambition, Ravish.
TA. Add them as an organization. This is the farthest they've actually ever made it to. Them winning on OQ1 and having pretty great results in OQ2 as well. You've seen these guys scale up so far. You know, even bringing in Porsche as well, or halfway through the season when we saw Bajani had to go. So they've only got better and better from there. We talked a lot about picks, and these guys have 1,000 of them.
And of course, taking a look at some of the gameplay that we've had from Team Ambition throughout this season, it's been pretty interesting to see kind of the development from one series to another, because things felt a little bit quiet for them when they did go down to Winthrop, but very next match they have, and suddenly you have Team Ambition swinging for the fences. And a lot of this, I mean, we had some conversations with them to try and discover more as we pull up the clips right now. A lot of this is about communication, Beat.
Right, and I mean, we got to highlight the bot lane, Snow 2 specifically. The fact that talking to the team, hearing that he's syncing up really well with Limo because he's become this big voice for the team. I heard this from Kachu, who I was catching up with last night. And the fact that at such a crucial moment for this tournament, the fact that a player is being able to step up, I think is really such a big deal, especially when, you know, a team like Team Ambition, who did end up struggling early on in the tournament, I think it's a good thing for them.
Exactly that, because Snow 2, he did talk about how past the first game that on their loss at the beginning of the tournament, and between their game and going towards TFT, they said, if you notice, the gameplay does not change. All that really changes is just them being able to talk more and how they scaled up from there, because now Limo was their main in-game leader, but now with Snow stepping up, they looked even better past that, giving Limo a bit more leeway and then doing even better.
Yeah, and it's gotten them into a position where they have to fight Mirage Alliance once again. And the thing about Mirage Alliance is they do have a lot of trash talk, while Team Ambition was trying to bring some of their own, because Limo feels a lot of people are sleeping on Levitate.
Winthrop 2-0'd us, and Mobility was saying something about Neo and him being the best two 80s in the tournament, and that's just a lie. My 80 is 10x both of them. So I think I want to play them. I mean, I think I want to play them and just allow Joseph to get his interview to, you know, maybe do a bit of trash talking back.
Yeah.
10x both of them.
A big number.
That's pretty spicy, Beat. What would you rate that?
I mean, instead of that, I'm going to go ahead and just completely deflect and talk about Levitate as a whole. And the fact that I actually think Levitate is a very interesting story. Just the fact that when he joined Tony Top in the spring promotion tournament, we didn't have very many expectations for him or Snow 2, and they actually did manage to step up. That team did qualify a lot because of the good gameplay we saw from that bot lane, even though things didn't really work out for them and they're here now. The fact that we're hearing this praise as well for their jungler, I think is a really good sign, and why, on top of Kachu, those are two players to keep a lookout on.
Well, on one side of the map, we got a little bit of trash talk coming in, but Mirage Alliance has Chad, man, and you know he's going to be flapping them gums all day. So let's see what he had to say about Snow.
I'd say my real answer is probably Snow too, bro. This guy talks so much trash talk for no reason. I haven't heard of you until 3 months ago. Like, I don't know why you're at all chat, bro. Just get out of all chat. You're not good. You guys got lucky, bro. Porsche came back from his vacation like a savior from the heavens to get you into this tournament, bro. Like, stop all chatting. Neo Dardock gap you every game. I can't focus.
Wow.
Dude. I like the silence right after. I can't focus and just lets it simmer.
Yeah.
Like, That's the proper way to trash talk, man. You gotta let them feel that burn, feel that sting.
Yeah, and it's funny that we ended up perpetuating that silence as well, just because, I mean, he's got very strong feelings. I wouldn't say Snow 2 is a fraud, but shout out Chad for always being willing to, you know, chat.
All right, well, we did talk about how these teams have faced off before in the past. Ravish, you are our expert here for the promotion tournament. I believe you've made a graphic for us, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
I have. Look, so they've already lost in the first BO3, but the second BO3, what happened was that Alone, you can see at the side, he's crying because his power went out for the entire series. So he wasn't playing. So what they had to do was they had to switch Darlock towards the top lane, and he plays support, right? They put Neo in support for 2 games, and then they had their sub Visera, who was an ADC, in ADC for 2 games, and then they switched him top. They put Darlock back on support, and then Neo back on ADC again in game 3. And I'm sure Team Ambition's thinking, yo, what are they gonna do? Well, win, that is beat.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive for them to win in those circumstances. And even though Team Ambition got the better of them the first time during Spring Qualifier 1, even Alorum says that, hey, the fact that we won in those circumstances, that bodes really well for them going into today's match as well. In particular, the fact that they are really confident when they get to the best of 5 stage, just because these are players who have so much experience. You don't feel that pressure when you get to these longer series.
The way you explained all that, Ravish, I'm imagining Mirage had some kind of board right here and we're just pointing different fingers in different directions.
Literally just like,
but
listen, man,
I am hearing now,
it works, I swear.
I am hearing now that the draft is ready, so best of 5 series, Ravish beatdown, it's all yours.
Dude, you know, I realized like not too long ago that the guy doing that whole like whiteboard thing was actually Ibai. That he was like there, like pointing across, you know, just like going like left, right, and center, and like all the workers and stuff.
Like with the red. Yeah, the wire.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wire. That's a show as well.
I meant string. It just the word wasn't coming to me. I've never watched The Wire. I heard it's great. Maybe I'll watch it one day. But anyways, what we really got to watch is the series right now. True. Mirage Alliance versus Team Ambition. A rematch here in that lower bracket, not just in this tournament, but the fact that these guys have been playing each other all split long, going for a blow for blow back and forth. And now here's where it really counts, man, because again, you're in that lower bracket. This is your last life, and even winning here won't qualify you necessarily. You still have to beat Supernova tomorrow, but of course winning here is that important first step.
Exactly that. Now, Alora also mentioned too that they have a lot of experience in BO5, so they're not too worried about it, and considering their history, makes perfect sense. We'll see what they end up looking to draft for themselves, though. For now, it's pretty standard stuff being taken off the board, right? A lot of focus on the junglers, right? And of course, Porsche's signature Olaf pick that he has carried games on before. The Kai'Sa also taken away to some that Levitate loves playing on. They look very good on as well. And the Poppy and the Lorm special.
Wow, I'm surprised to see Mirage Alliance go for that Kai'Sa ban just because of how much it's dropped in priority. But Levitate did have a really great game on it beforehand, so it makes sense. And the first pick, Maokai, is really exciting there for a number of reasons. I was kind of thinking of the Rel just because that's been the story of this tournament here. Rel being that powerful flex pick that B1 in so many of our matches here at the promotion tournament. But instead, Mirage would rather have the flex value there because we know Allure will play it.
Exactly. And they possibly play that along with Zaya as well, something a bit more self-sustaining to give away to Levitate, so Snow 2 can also roam around the map as well. And on the other end, this has not been locked in yet, so I won't get baited like you did yesterday, the day before. I know you got quite excited, but
I did. It's okay. You know what happens? But it is going to get locked in, so there it is. Woo! And I mean, the Caitlyn is an interesting pick. I mean, it's very fitting with what Neo's been playing. He plays things like the Draven, the more lane dominant style champions, and it does mean that he will have to get ahead. I think those buffs for Caitlyn were nice, but they don't change how the champion operates. They don't change what she wants to do, and they don't change the fact that she's on a bit of a timer. She needs to get to 2 to 3 items before anybody else does so she can really run the map. And I like the rest of what we're seeing here from Mirage Alliance. We're seeing the Gragas come through. Another thing Alorum has played makes me think that Chad is likely going to be the one piloting the Maokai.
Exactly, yeah. So kind of already giving away a bit of the lane assignment so far. Speaking of which, we do have Kachu with a lockdown of the Azir too. Safe, AP scaling mid laner. That way late game insurance is well that they have for themselves. And Kachu as well has been having some really good series recently. Just yesterday when we saw him, on the Jace as well, one of the 2v1s. So this might also help to circumvent that. Team fighting prowess, but we'll see what else they take off. The LeBlanc being one of them on TA, pointed naturally towards Sudsy, just removing any bad matchups. And the Ivern, I think, is a fun one.
That's good. No, I mean, Limo's been playing a lot of it. I think it's really good into what Mirage are going for. It's actually why I like the Azir. You have that scaling. You have the ability to make space with that Emperor's Divide. So even though we're seeing the LeBlanc go away here from Sudsy, I'm wondering if we see what else he is going to pull out in response. I mean, he's got a really deep champ pool. He said in interviews, he's like, yeah, that he knows he can play a lot of champions pretty decently well, and that flexibility is one of his strengths here. So I'm curious what kind of answer he's going to have here for Kachu, who's playing something a little less than what I'd expect from him, just because we know he is that kind of melee player, that melee specialist, especially on this patch where all his champions got buffed. I'm surprised to see him go this route, but it is a great champ, so.
Exactly. In fact, TA did speak a lot about, playing and drafting around Kachu. Like, they kind of just let him pick whatever he wants, and then they'll go off from there and look to adapt. And the adaptation we're looking at right now as to what it might be for what they want to pick. The bot lane more than likely locked into. So look at any soul lane picks, and that is fun. No timers here. Early game power. TA looking for dominance here, B.
Wow, TA are looking to go all in, which is pretty interesting when you see what's showing here for Mirage Alliance. Maokai, Gragas, pretty good at disengage, but TA want to just go ahead and they don't care. They want to full send it anyway. And they're going to leave Porsche that counter pick for topside. They want to make 100% sure they know what's going on the other side of the map here.
Okay. But speaking of things that can try to disengage, at least we have the Ziggs going on as well. This is very fun to try to take this into the Azir. Sudsy, like you're saying, Sudsy has a lot of picks in his back pocket, and this only reaching a bit further. I do enjoy this. Long range versus long range and scaling continuing to happen. And now we look towards what Mirage want to pick out to round out the composition, right? Looking at a support pick more than likely. Oh! Okay. All right.
Okay. See, that's why we needed to see what was coming out here. So it's looking like Chad is going to be playing the Kazakhs, and it's either Maokai or probably Maokai support, because I think that's going to end up synergizing better with Caitlyn and the traps and things like that. And it gives Porsche that confidence to go ahead and pick up the Aatrox there, which is, really good with the draft identity overall. You want to move forward as Aatrox. You want to try and reset. And as long as TA can close the gap, they have really good ways to go for these 5v5s, Ravish.
Exactly that. Because if you look at TA as of right now, it's the early game power so far is incredible. And so just be able to get like a lot of the carries off the ground is going to naturally just land upon Limo too. But you're talking about resets. If Aatrox has to dive right in to the entire team, and Sudsy and Nia can kind of just walk away from them. Jack can just jump out, and Alorum and Dardoch are pretty big boys, both physically and of course stats-wise. So might have a bit of a harder time with that. Otherwise, though, talk to me a bit more about the interactive ability and the 5v5s going on between these two teams here.
All right, so now that we've seen where everything is going to go, Dardoch's going to be the one piloting the Gragas. So I understand the idea here. You can interrupt the Rel W, which is what I imagine is trying to make it easier there for the laning phase for this Caitlyn. And also, we're pointing out that both of these teams have played each other a bunch of times before. So we did sit down with Chad to talk about Mirage Alliance's recent loss against Team Ambition.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a game. We lost game 1 where we had wrong runes on multiple champions, and then we lost game 3 up 7k gold and while having soul. So, it was I would like to say it was a fluke. I think the stats would show it was a fluke, especially after when we had our rematch, they got wiped. But yeah, I mean, I'd say we weren't focused. We know everyone is pretty bad, so we go into games, I guess, overconfident. But it's not our fault they're bad. But I guess if you give them like 1% more respect, then they won't, then it's not even a competition.
It's not our fault. They're all bad.
That's technically true. He's not lying.
Man, Chad is so extremely confident, and I love the things he has to say. It just makes things way spicier. But I remember I was actually casting that game, and he's not wrong that it just flipped on a head. And game 2 as well, we did see a graphic of that, right? Where it was what Alorum called the funny roster, where they're playing musical chairs with all of their positions.
Wasn't it the goofy roster?
The goofy roster, yeah, that's it. Same stuff. Either way, though, let's see how this game shakes out between them. Kachu's already taken a decent chuck early in the lane. Wow.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to point out too, I really like the Ziggs answer into this Azir, because the immediate thought here is trying to get mid push. And the Ziggs, especially when you get Lost Chapter, is going to be able to contest for that really easily. And you can see Sudsy, like, he's very confident just walking up. Oh my god, is he going to kill him?
He might.
One more auto.
Ooh, it's a flash, dude. Sudsy as well has taken a decent amount of harass, and he can't step up too carefully either, but it'll just naturally landing himself in a very comfortable position here now. Wow.
Yeah, and this pressure makes me wonder if Chad is going to be going for something aggressive. I mean, the fact that Kachu is just sitting under his turret now at like 1/4 of his HP does mean that Chad's going to have an opportunity to either invade, go for a play topside. He has the space that he's very confident in whatever he's going to do, and it's looking like it is that top play. Porsche might be in trouble.
Yeah, there's a twisted advance and the backup as well. So he gets the Q. Porsche on the wrong side of the lane. There's a heal back as well, but he knows he has no chance. He's gonna have to take it at first blood. Going over to Chad Jungle.
I mean, respect to Porsche, not flashing, just trying to get the wave in because he's like, ah, yeah, it's over. I'm dead. And really important here for this Kha'Zix. I mean, Chad is playing this more carry-style jungle here, and you want to get kills rolling on this champion. You want to make it so that he's going to be able to assassinate people in these team fights. You asked me earlier, Ravish, about the 5v5 and what the interaction is going to look like. It's pretty clear what Team Ambition want to do. They want to go all in, and you can see it exactly with what's going on here. This really nice engage coming through.
Yeah.
On Mirage Alliance's side, it is a little more, I don't want to say disjointed, but less clear. Because you have members who can disengage. Oh, hold on a second.
I mean, might need to disengage from this though, Lino.
Oh.
Bunch of damage. Laura might be in trouble. Level
He's here.
3. Whoa! Flash over the wall, like you said. Sudsy there for the support. That's one for Sudsy, but traded back by Porsche. Nothing more will happen right from here. Porsche will have to back away, and Sudsy gets one.
Yeah, but it cost a lot of people using their flashes to make this one happen. And you see Sudsy showing up. This is what I was talking about. The fact that he's been pressuring Kachu so well is giving him these opportunities to roam first and help with these plays. So I do like this look. And the fact that Limo, after his clear, showed up as well to try and even the odds, help him out is really nice. But I love this confidence. Chad, after his clear, comes back as well and tries to set up this play, which, I mean, 1 for 1, it's not bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially when you're looking to, especially like get this gold on mainly of course Aatrox to make sure that your team fighting can be a lot more better, and of course on Sudsy, who's already having a good time in the lane. So that makes things, naturally just scale up for him. Fun fact though, talking to Sudsy as well, he mentioned even if I'm not necessarily have a ton of kills in lane, if I'm 30 CS up on this guy, just know that I'm having a good time. Hasn't happened yet, but at least the kill will, of course, bolster his own confidence if we get a couple of seconds to ourselves while the infighting going on, though. They want to watch what's going on in the bot lane as we see Chad going down towards there. I think just pushing in for now, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's because of that kill, Sudsy was able to come back to lane with Lost Chapter, and now it's very easy for him to get this lane push. It's just free at this point. So there's so much more space on the map for Chad, who came back with that serrated Dirk. Really strong at the moment here. And the fact is, he's got prio in pretty much all of his lanes, which is something that's really important for Mirage Alliance overall. They are big on dominating in lane and using that to win the game. They usually end up getting ahead, and the few losses we've seen are from when they fall behind because kind of that disrespect that Chad was talking about in the video we played at the start of the game.
And that's the point in contention for TA as well, right? We saw in their loss against Winteratu, they were playing very scared, but this is the exact opposite, which, well, all that CC laid down on Dardoff, but he is quite large, won't make a ton of difference. Meanwhile, in top lane, we see the pip up. There's a 2v1, but Imo does not have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's just to get the wave in. Porsche's really low. If he were to die again without TP, it would just be a disaster for the lane. So I like that cover there from Limo, trying to just help his laners out, even though he is playing something that does really want to farm like the Nocturne. And, okay, Sudsy using this prio. Gonna be able to get this robot. Oh, yeah, this is...
He's on a ward, though, so he won't be able to just lay down some damage.
Wow.
I would say ticking, but cannot go forward in danger just being turned upon for himself. Hey, nice little shove at it anyway.
but that's good because you make that space, you use that prio, and what does it do? It sets up Neo on this Caitlyn to start getting further ahead. He's already up 11 CS, he got his first turret plate, and keep an eye out for him to continue stacking that up.
Yep.
It's really important for him this game to be able to get that, so that he can continue using his range to harass, to put out damage, and to get Mirage Alliance their first win.
Exactly, because like you mentioned before in Draft Night, right? That Caitlyn is on a timer. So we're gonna make sure, and we're gonna have to keep checking on Neo to see if he manages to circumvent it, or if he can at least go beyond the means. For now, though, it'll be on TA. They get first Dragon, but Mirage Alliance are moving in. Chad looking for the opportunity to steal, maybe? 3v3, and nah, no opportunities there. They get it.
And I really like the fact that Team Ambition were able to get that one there. Levitate comes back to lane with the Noon Quiver, so you're feeling pretty good about his power. And the fact that they were able to get this, even though they're the team, I kind of favor going into the late game because of the Aatrox, because of the Kai'Sa, or rather the Xayah Azir. I think it's good for them to also delay that potential Dragon Soul win con for Mirage Alliance. I mean, truthfully, the fact that you have Caitlyn in this bottom lane that is, quite frankly, dominating and aren't able to pick up these early Drakes, I think is a mistake, or at least showing that Mirage Alliance don't actually care about this. They just want to fish for kills. They want to get ahead in gold, not as interested in that Soul win con.
Yeah, and Chad has just lived in these lanes for just the past like 6 minutes or so. It is very, it's a pretty Chad thing to do, but speaking of being in lanes, here comes Limo, down one goes. Neo not getting out of there.
And that's a really big play coming through here, and it's a great way to deal with this Caitlyn as well. You can join from so far away as Nocturne, and we talk about it. Nocturne's first level 6, first ultimate there with the Paranoia. What kind of value is it going to be able to get? Well, a kill on the Levitate. Ravich, I don't know about you, but that's some pretty damn good value in my opinion. And Levitate, surely.
I mean, it's they use the Magnus Storm under the tower. He has the aggro. Nice barrel. Ooh, and the trade back for Dardoch. Not too bad. The snipe, it's not enough.
Ooh, it's really spooky. Nicely done from Dardoch, but we gotta hold that thought. Chad is also in some trouble.
He is, but it's okay. He can just jump on away. The flash on top and the flash trader as well.
And the teleport.
Playing it safe. Yeah, like you're saying, there's a lot of people in here, but Alarm stuck in the middle, and the bounce house he goes. And Limo picks up another.
Wow, that's so great for Team Ambition. The fact that you get flashes out of Alorum and Chad, you trade only Limos for it, and you force Sudsy to teleport as well. Super valuable play coming through here, and a big deal for them to try and pull away with gold. I mean, they're down 300, but the fact that they picked up the first Drake, the fact that they're only down a couple hundred gold, I think this is fantastic for them, as Mirage Alliance are the ones who need to keep that pace up that we saw in those first few minutes.
And this is exactly what I want to see out of TA as well. They mentioned that this is the shift that they've been working on, about talking a lot more. And for Snow as well, like you mentioned, just being the IGL, being like, you know what? If no one's going to make the call, it's going to be on me. And he's been so proactive about how many more plays we can do to set Mirage Alliance behind back. The fact that there's still a couple hundred gold ahead is a testament of its own, but just more kills on Limo, and just seeing how we can also, get Porsche much more ahead, just so at least Alorum can't keep him in lane as often, because half the time his job is just to neutralize the lanes, but here, an Aatrox that's ahead can do whatever he pleases, and a Limo that's ahead can also go wherever he pleases too, as his ultimate is now back up, so you're paying attention on the map as to where he decides to haunt next.
Yeah, the question's going to be, what's Chad looking to do? And when you have a Herald and Ziggs on your team, surely that's going to be the target. So Limo, very likely going to keep an eye on his mid laner Kachu just to make sure a play like that doesn't end up coming through. Because if you can stop that Herald, you can slow down that first tower take from the Ziggs. I mean, again, you just stymie the snowball that Mirage Alliance are looking for here. And haven't had as much success as they'd likely been hoping for. Right now, you can see Limo's in the area. He's got ult too. I think he wants to fight. Wow.
It's spotted. That's a lot of damage. The isolation's gonna hit, but has to use the ultimate just to get away. Uses the barrel and the pop of Limo. Looking for the trade. He gets one back. That goes on to Kachu. But Limo's quite low. They don't have the damage for it. The Q lands.
Wow.
And Neo takes one back. Got the storm though, enough. He walks into the middle of the ultimate, and Levitate's still not dead. They're still looking. They're watching the flash for flash. But now Sankachu uses the swing and gets out safely.
Okay, I was just waiting to see if he actually got out safely and they weren't going to chase. But wow, I mean, really aggressive play here coming through again from Team Ambition. I like that Limo is just continuously looking for these angles with that paranoia. And even though this one didn't work out as well, you're still slowing down that Herald play from Chad. So as long as you're...
Sudsy, like you mentioned, has no flash. He's gonna walk, but he's not going anywhere. 3, 2, 1. Well, come on, man! Oh, wait, Chad comes out of nowhere. That's the 1-for-1, though. And that goes on to Snow. I think Sudsy's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they chased too far, and it's a really nice punish from Chad. Chad's going to get 2 kills off this one. That is a big deal. I mean, I like the idea to try and attack mid lane. Again, you keep Sudsy off the map, you prevent him from taking plates and turrets. That's all well and good, but the overchase, you just give so much gold to Mirage Alliance. And the fact that this Kha'Zix, who's already sitting on that Duskblade, gets a couple hundred more gold right off the bat is such a big deal here for Mirage. You can see between that and the fact that Neo is still ahead in CS coming through here, they're going to be able to drop this Herald and continue stacking up that gold. They're 2K up now, and this is more what we wanted to see for them with the comp that they've got going for themselves.
That's tower down as well, too. Snow is barely even back in lane. Limo's around the corner to support if they get dived upon, but instead it's both Dragon and it's also tower, taking a very high return play that Chad now has. And perhaps he can look to encroach upon Limo. Sees him in the brush, but that's a support 3v3 and with Sudsy roaming down. Kachu there. We're gonna see a fight. TP's available for Lauren, but instead it will walk away.
Yeah, Mirage Alliance don't want to look for that. They're just gonna go ahead and let Limo have his Gromp. All right, you can have that one, but the next one, I'll see you in a couple of minutes is what he's thinking about here. Got some aggressive trading top side. So Team Ambition now find themselves in the hole to the tune of 3,000 gold. This is really good for Mirage. The question is just going to be, what can Mirage do with it? They have that first Drake, so even though it's a little later than the first 4 dragons, they will be able to still play for that Dragon Soul win con. And as long as they continue knocking down structures, getting gold leads on Sudsy and Neo, they are going to have that firepower to just continue winning out on these objective fights and subsequently the game.
Speaking of objectives, though, we're seeing Rip Herald come up in just about a minute or so. It's going to be the next thing that both these teams are actually looking at. Vision being set up by Darlock. We see around the area, as is Snow too. So, a potential fight upon the horizon for either one of these teams. Mid priority imminent, which is why they've also rotated. Levitated Snow too. Ensure that Sudsy can't keep this prio for much longer. They see Chad alone. Why don't you just get the crab, man? Let him be, Chad. Oh!
He got pulled back.
Oh, he pulled back, like you're saying, and now it's go time, baby. Flash over the wall. And they use the barrel to disrupt things. Move on to Snow too. It's gonna take him down. A TP coming in. A big bomb, but it's not enough. That's Darlock down, and they'll take that and leave.
Yeah, health bars are low. You can't start the Herald, but this is that unique strength that Team Ambition's comp has, the ability to isolate a target. One of your teammates is close to somebody, Snow 2, Kachu, anybody, then Limo can instantly give you that extra boost in numbers to make it happen, and look for them to continue doing that even though they find themselves behind. Right now, Team Ambition have enough vision over the Herald, and there isn't likely going to be a play on it just yet, but instead they want to look on this play to Neo, who, I mean, Neo's dead.
You're by yourself, bro. Yeah. You're an ADC. It's literally illegal for you to be that far up the lane, and they even get Sudsy's TP out of it, trying to come back to cover. So now, Mirage giving away, like, what was actually just 2 kills for free at this point. Red Peril still the main priority.
Yeah.
Chad is still playing far up, still wants to fight for it. And TA have not found the space until now.
Yeah, the fact that you took Neo out of the picture means you feel really good about your chances. You're lacking on some key ultimates, and it's looking like Mirage Alliance do want to take advantage of that. The Kha'Zix ultimate is up. Lorem's using his ultimate.
Okay, gonna use the Maokai ult though. A lot of damage and poke put down by Sudsy. They see to isolate them, and they'll at least get their Herald, but take a lot of damage for it, and they'll trade Snow 2's life. Around the corner though, levitate. Ooh, unfortunate. Gets isolated once more.
So Mirage are able to get something back off that, but they still didn't manage to get the Herald. Actually, this is going to end up being a positive. The reason for that is they got a kill. They're going to get that mid-tier 1 as well. And really the only option Kachu has is to go for this play.
Sudzy, no. Same place that Neo got caught again. Immobile by yourself. But Neo instead is looking to push these towers. Dardoch and Chad are holding it there. Limo has no mana. He's dead. And so is Kachu. Oh my god, Chad is so strong.
We have a scrappy game on our hands, Ravish. And yeah, Chad is 7-2 right now. He's been at so many of these skirmishes, and Mirage Alliance are just finding ways to beat him kill after kill after kill. And this goes to show you that this is how Mirage wants to play these team fights. The fact that things are split up. Chad can look for people he can isolate, very similar to how Limo is looking to isolate members with that paranoia and someone else from his team. And oh wow, Neo getting punished again.
Yep, indeed they are. So we'll see. Porsche currently the highest level in the game that has managed to have pretty much a soul lane to himself for a decent amount of time. Was not able to be at a lot of the skirmishes, and we were talking before in draft about Porsche coming in, getting off these resets. He just hasn't found the time yet. He's just been like by himself, like trying to get to a stronger point. Yeah. He has Dustblade though, so hopefully we can see him be part of these next couple of fights as Dragon comes up in 10 seconds.
Right, this Dragon is pretty important for both sides here. Right now, everyone except for Levitate and Neo should have their ultimates in time coming through here. But Team Ambition, they're just going to go ahead and start this, try and burst this down as quickly as they can. But of course, Mirage Alliance, they're not letting this go for free. It looks like we have another fight on our hands.
Indeed, Chad is going to take a couple of chickens before that. Around the corner, Porsche is there looking for the flank.
Oh, he wants the angle.
So is Snow too, as well. Sorry, so is Kachu, I should say. Oh! Dragon taking an instant by Limo, so they're stacking it up once more. And they've been versus Drake twice now.
Yeah, Chad, the damage calculator wasn't quite accurate with that one. Smited the Dragon down to 92 health. So Team Ambition now the ones who have that advantage playing towards the Dragon Soul. And it's a Cloud one at that, which will always be very useful for them.
Okay, they should just ignite, barrel, nice ball shield.
Oh,
gonna
Limo.
use the ultimate for it. And Porsche, okay. So it seems as though every single time we give the advantage to TA for, getting an objective, getting something above Mirage responds in kind with a tempo play of their own.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, Limo and Porsche shouldn't have been there, especially given the fact that you knew so many of, all of Mirage Alliance were in the area, and you didn't really have much vision on them, so it's a good punish coming through, and more kills, more turrets and kills coming through.
Yeah, speaking of turret, that's one immediate demolition being taken by Sudzy, as Snow is once again isolated. That is 3 kills. Oh my god, Levitate, if you walked in the lane, I swear to god.
That's fine, they have teleports, Oh! It's not fine, I lied!
Oh, Nate! Why could you do this? This is gonna be an A separated 1 by 1. Tia is walking in. Porsche puts out the ultimate. Sudzy drops the bomb on top of his headpiece, but it might not actually matter. Alorm is staying alive for so long, but Chad is dead. That is huge. And Alorm cannot do anything else here but stall. They lose 2 members, make that 3, but a tower is also what is taken in kind.
It's so tough because Mirage Alliance are ahead so much gold, even with the 1,000 gold shutdown, even with the kills you picked up. You've just given away so much as Team Ambition, and you still have so much to do before you can really get yourselves back into this one. I mean, Neo's at a point where he has the Infinity Edge. 2 items are really good for him, and the fact that he's ahead, which is so important for Caitlyn, is what matters as well. I mean, so we're getting desperate.
We are indeed. Neo has dodged the Caitlyn allegations and built himself up to a good point, but that's only help him out. Look at those crits, man. Chunking Kachu and Snow, and Limo have to step in to tank that. They're pushing on forward here, B. They want more. Limo luckily had special to dodge that again, but Allura might be isolated. Might not be able to get much more than just this, but they're continuing to chase.
Hey, Mirage can just do the Baron. Like, you are not afraid of Team Ambition in the slightest right now. Even with Limo and Kachu getting their ults back up, you're just so much stronger on the map, and I like that Mirage are immediately just full sending it. You force them out, you chunk them down. So take this Baron and take Kachu's life, because how dare he?
How dare he stand? Well, the flash didn't work. He got stalled, the ignite will take him. And Levitate walks in for free. Oh, but that almost landed by the nice smite by Chad. And Limo will give his life for that. It's another one. Went over to Levitate. Let's look at the ace finally, too. All you gotta do is dot those I's, cross those D's. Now Lauren's gotta stop them in their tracks. It's Levitate to walk away. And Mirage Alliance get the Turo Baron bot.
And now they find themselves up 8,500 gold. Team Ambition really don't have a leg to stand on anymore. They are too far behind, and it's too easy for Mirage to be able to siege these structures. Just Sudsy alone going to be able to easily knock down the mid-inhib turret. And Alorum really reminding us, proving us himself right with the fact that, hey, they beat this team last time when they didn't have their full roster, and now that it's the proper 5, they're running through them.
Hey, just look at this right here, too. We're seeing that it was a second between that Baron being stolen by Limo. But like you're mentioning, they're all so strong, and Dardoch and Alorum stay alive for so long. They hold off 3 different members, and here it's just a matter of the chase and catching who they can. For Mirage Alliance, this game is almost set in stone. All they have to do is open up the base a bit more and just push to the end.
Yeah, like the only saving grace really is the fact that there are so many turrets left on Mirage Alliance's side. But I mean, taking a look at the subway damage dealt last team fight, this has just been these last couple of fights back to back. Seeing what everyone's been able to output on the side of Mirage, and the fact that Team Ambition, I mean, they're dying pretty fast. Especially Kachu, who wasn't able to get much damage out last fight.
Nah, unfortunately not. I mean, Levitate was trying his darndest to just poke away from the side, but can we do so much? Otherwise, though, NACL holding off as many waves as they can. Meanwhile, Mirage gets to freely go back to get what resets they want and set up to apply pressure. Waves are not exactly matched just yet, so setting up for the 4-1 might be a little bit difficult, but hey, Alorum is escorting the wave in mid.
Right, Kachu using the Azir passive to try and buy some space, but what he doesn't know is Mirage. They're just going to full send on this bottom turret. Bottom inhibitor is going to go down as well, and Team Ambition, they're looking for something. I don't know if there's anything to actually find.
I do not believe so either. Chad just walks in, chunks Kachu, and there's a lot more damage because of the Leandries and Sudsy's bomb. So they'll take the bottom inhib and perhaps the mid as well too if they feel so inclined.
Extend the game.
Yeah, they could. They're just walking in. All 5 are up right now for a couple more seconds. Levitate almost gone there, but the demolition power of the Zeke speaks true and free. Snow 2 with the back, the Megastorm on all 5, and that's jumping. Look at the Emperor's Divide. Let's push them all back, and they maintain their base. And Shurima lands here once again. 3 down for Mirage Alliance, as Alorum's got to run away. TA will not fall just yet.
I mean, that's a big team fight coming through from Team Ambition, but they've already lost so much of their base. One bad fight is all it's going to take to end their game 1. The big thing here is that they are staggering some of these deaths. I mean, isolation damage goes crazy, so Chad is still able to get a response kill, but Team Ambition, on top of it all, will be able to get that soul point coming through here. So they do have a very small glimmer of hope as they're trying to reach these crucial spikes. And I look at the replay again, man. The fact that they go to try and end the game, Snow 2 has a crazy flank coming through here. He gets the big angle, and that's what sets it up. Porsche's doing so much AoE damage. Kachu gets a big 4-band shuffle, and it was enough to overcome them this time.
And from there, too, it just goes down to Porsche's laying the smackdown on 4 of them, and they run away on top of that. But the question really is, like, if we look at the subway damage dealt last team fight, right? My first Chad, most of that was just him killing Kachu at that point. But yeah, speaking of which, Kachu having a massive fight of his own as well. But even with them getting that dragon right after this too, I don't know if Cloud Soul is gonna be what saves them here, Nate.
No, not directly. but finding angles like that, I mean, shout out to Snow for seeing it, is how they're going to make that one happen, Ravisha. The fact that we talked about Snow 2 being the player who stepped up, Shirley screaming to his teammates, like, guys, this is the angle. It's now or never in these crucial moments. Is such a big deal. It really speaks to what he's been able to accomplish for this team throughout this tournament.
We were talking about already, right? Snow stepped up as the IGL. Ever since that loss against Winthrop, he's been the biggest voice in the team, telling these teams, telling them they've got to go now, and this is it. As the to walk in, Sadzi just takes a decent chunk. We'll walk back and just maybe try to TP back here if we can, but decides to stay. Interesting.
Yeah, there's no Baron buff, so it's a little harder for Mirage Alliance to just brute force that turret. But they're still going to go ahead and keep a really oppressive vision line coming through here. They're fighting Team Ambition to make it hard for them to get any vision outside of their base. And that's the dangerous thing here, because if Chad ends up finding you and isolating you, we've seen the damage he could do. And one pickoff like that can spell the end. Again, Team Ambition's base in shambles at the moment. One mistake is one you can't afford to make.
Mistake might be here, though, no? Just barrel put down. Decent amount of poke. Ooh, nice for the storm to keep Levitate alive. Or else that could have been the exact detriment to their escape. And they'll just move along the patch to the jungle to take the safest route out. Meanwhile, the waves are pushing in on both top, middle, and bottom. So pressure's being applied on all sides, and Baron is up.
Yeah, but Team Ambition, they don't want to just let this one go. They may not have a choice, though, as it's already super low.
You're saying, yeah, that's them. The second Zero Baron buff is online for Mirage Alliance. And then instead of looking to push forward, they'll take to the bats, get the resets in, and look for a full force walk-in. Look at the TPs coming down towards the bot side. The wave is coming in too. They're around here. They want to push for the end, but Laura might be pushed back here. Kachu's there. They put out the ultimate. Meanwhile, Levitate falls to Chad. And now in the 4v5, TA look to survive, but that's another down. They got to before, but Snow cannot save the game again. One by one, they fall. And TA lose game one. Mirage Alliance take it home.
And that's the mistake we were talking about. Levitate getting caught means Mirage Alliance will take the first game in this series here. And they're going to take that first step to getting a date with Supernova tomorrow.
Indeed, they are, my friend. Mirage, we expected dominance from them. We expect them to look like the best team in the league all throughout qualifiers. And so far, they're showing up here against TA. Confident plays and nothing but.
Yeah, and I mean, things looked... There were some bright spots for Team Ambition. It looked like they were going to do something for a moment there, but at the end of the day, the fact that Mirage Alliance were getting such huge lane advantages coming through here, getting a lot of those early turret breaks for champions like Caitlyn, for champions like Ziggs, were so instrumental to finding the leads that got them this win. And man, they just kept winning on these fights and skirmishes.
Winning is quite nice, but it is a BO5, so we'll see if TA can respond in kind in game 2. We'll see you back after this break.
Subway refreshed their ingredients, their menu, and now they're slicing their meats fresh. That's why their new Subway Series subs are preferred by this champ.
And his future champ. Pros who are talking heads prefer fresh sliced turkey.
And pros who use their heads prefer fresh sliced ham.
More deli meats are preferred by this QB.
And preferred by his old backup QB.
And if we prefer it, we know you'll prefer it too. Is this slice as good as your tennis slice?
I can't answer that, but yes.